Dear spectators of the human tragedy. The bitter cycle of desolation, where the ambitious dance on the graves of their own souls. They chase power like it's some golden elixir, convinced it's their birthright. But let me tell you, that illusion of power, it's just a mirage, a cruel joke played by fate. The higher they climb, the more they forget the ground beneath them. They think they're kings, ruling over a kingdom of shadows, but in truth, they wield nothing but empty thrones. Imagine standing atop a mountain of conquest, surveying the ruins of those who fell before you. What a sight, isn't it? But what they don't realize is that every conquest comes at a cost. It drains the heart, gnaws at the conscience, and leaves behind a husk, a shell of what once was. They seek to dominate, to crush, to mold the world to their will. Yet in their relentless pursuit, they lose something far more precious, their humanity. Oh, the irony. They think they've conquered everything, yet they've stripped themselves of the very essence that makes life worth living. In the silence that follows their victories, they find themselves truly alone. The laughter of the conquered fades away, replaced by a deafening silence. Their thrones may be adorned with jewels, but the emptiness that surrounds them is palpable. Each jewel is but a reminder of the souls they've cast aside, the lives they've shattered in their quest for dominance. And what of the cost of conquest? It's not just the blood spilled or the tears shed, it's the emotional toll that lingers like a dark cloud. They wear their ambition like a crown, yet it suffocates them, tightening its grip with every choice they make. The powerful become prisoners of their own making. They build walls so high to protect their fragile egos, but in doing so, they shut out the warmth of connection, the light of friendship, and the joy of love. Look closely, you'll see the shadows lurking in their eyes. Those are the echoes of the lives they've destroyed, the dreams they've dashed against the rocks of their ambition. They've become ghosts in their own lives, haunted by the memories of what they've lost and what they've sacrificed on the altar of power. The hollow thrones they occupy are nothing more than a stage for their loneliness to play out, a tragic performance where the audience is nothing but the whispers of their own regrets. Power, my dear listeners, is a double-edged sword. It may seem like a blessing, a means to bend the world to your will, but it cuts deeper than any blade. It leaves scars that never heal, wounds that fester in the darkness of solitude. Those who seek to dominate often find themselves ensnared in a web of their own making, trapped by the very chains they forged. So, as they sit upon their empty thrones, they must confront the bitter truth: they have stripped themselves of everything that matters. The laughter of loved ones, the warmth of companionship, the richness of shared experiences, all gone, replaced by an abyss of isolation. In their quest for power, they have become barren souls, wandering through the wasteland of their own ambition. And here lies the cruelest irony of all: the powerful seek to impose their will upon the world, yet in doing so, they rob themselves of the very essence of life. They stand atop their mountains, gazing into the void, and in that void, they find only themselves, lost, empty, and utterly alone. The cycle continues, a bitter dance of desolation, where the ambitious learn too late that the price of conquest is far steeper than they could ever imagine. The intoxicating allure of power. It whispers sweet promises in the ears of the ambitious, seducing them with visions of grandeur. They stand on the precipice, gazing into the abyss, convinced that the darkness will bow before them. The ambition that drives them is a wild beast, clawing and gnashing at the insides, relentless in its pursuit. They believe they are predators, but what they fail to see is that they are also prey, trapped in a cycle of their own making. Every heart that beats in sync with ambition is a heart that beats against the chains of morality. The methods of ascendancy are not for the faint-hearted, they are forged in betrayal and ruthlessness. Like a hawk diving for its unsuspecting prey, the ambitious swoop down, ignoring the cries of those they crush beneath their weight. Their rise is a cacophony of shattered dreams, and the echoes of their conquests ring hollow in the chambers of their own souls. They manipulate, deceive, and destroy, convinced that every sacrifice is a stepping stone to the throne. Yet, each step taken is another step away from the light of humanity, Oh, the initial thrill of success. It surges through the veins like a potent drug, intoxicating and exhilarating. They feel invincible, standing atop a mountain of their own making, surveying the spoils of their victories. But in that moment of triumph lies a deceptive veil, hiding the truth beneath layers of euphoria. It's a fleeting high, a momentary escape from the reality that looms just beyond the horizon. With every ounce of power they amass, they become more entangled in their own web, a spider ensnared by the very threads it spun. But let's not forget the casualties, the nameless, faceless individuals who become collateral damage in this ruthless game of ambition. Their lives are mere tokens, tossed aside like discarded playing cards, as the powerful chase their dreams. Communities shatter, families break apart, and in the wake of conquest, despair festers like an untreated wound. The ambitious may wear their success like a crown, but beneath that facade lies a graveyard of lost dignity and crushed spirits. Dehumanization is the currency of ambition. When you see others as mere pieces on a chessboard, you strip them of their essence, reducing them to nothing more than tools to be wielded. The drive for power becomes a filter, warping perceptions and dulling empathy. Each conquest chips away at the soul, leaving behind the husk that no longer recognizes the cries of those it has harmed. The ambitious become blind to the suffering they sow, their hearts hardened against the very humanity that once defined them. And yet, the ripple effect of loss cannot be contained. It spreads like wildfire, engulfing everything in its path. The ambitions of one can poison the lives of many, leaving scars that echo through generations. The powerful may revel in their victories, but the shadows of their actions linger long after the cheers have faded. The world becomes a desolate landscape, marked by the footprints of those who sought to dominate at any cost. So, as they stand amidst the ruins of their conquests, they must confront the reality of their choices. The thrill of ambition fades into a haunting melody, a dirge for the lives they've altered forever. They may wear the mask of success, but behind it lies a heart wrapped in chains, chains forged from the suffering of others. In the end, they are left with barren souls, echoes of laughter replaced by the deafening silence of isolation. The question remains, at what cost do they claim their power? The thrill of success may be intoxicating, but the price they pay is steep. They are left to grapple with the ghosts of their choices, wandering through a wasteland of their own making, seeking solace in a realm that offers none. In their quest for dominance, they have stripped themselves of everything that truly matters, leaving behind nothing but shadows and whispers in the dark. Ah, the sweet taste of ambition, how it dances on the tongue, intoxicating yet bitter. But what is left in its wake? A graveyard of dreams, a symphony of despair. The ambitious, they stride forward, fueled by the illusion that power is their birthright. Yet, for every step they take, they leave behind the casualties of their insatiable hunger. The world around them crumbles, a silent witness to their relentless pursuit, while the echoes of laughter fade, replaced by the haunting whispers of those they have cast aside. In the shadows of their ascent, individuals become mere statistics, their stories erased like chalk from a blackboard. Communities, once vibrant and thriving, wither under the weight of ambition. Families are torn apart, frayed at the edges, their bonds eclipsed by the relentless march of one person's desire for dominance. The ambitious see their reflection in the mirror of success, but what they fail to recognize is the shattered glass beneath their feet, a carpet of broken lives that once thrived in the light. Dehumanization wraps its cold fingers around the hearts of the powerful. They become architects of a world where others are mere pawns, stripped of dignity and reduced to tools for their whims. Each conquest is a stroke on a canvas painted with the tears of the dispossessed. They gaze upon their achievements, but the satisfaction is hollow. It resonates like a distant bell, chiming for the lives extinguished in the name of ambition. The ambitious, intoxicated by their own success, become blind to the suffering they propagate, their empathy dulled by the very power they wield. And know the ripple effect of loss. It spreads like an insidious fog, creeping into the corners of society, leaving behind a trail of devastation. The ambitions of one do not merely affect the individual, they cast a shadow over entire communities, echoing through time like a ghost that refuses to rest. The powerful may revel in their victories, but they are haunted by the specters of those they have trampled. Each face they forgot, each name they erased, becomes a weight on their soul, a reminder of the lives they've altered irrevocably. The irony is rich, isn't it? As they conquer and dominate, they strip not only others of their dignity but also themselves of humanity. They build their empires on the backs of the broken, yet remain blissfully unaware of the void that grows within. The laughter that once filled their lives is replaced by an oppressive silence, a constant reminder of what they sacrificed for the sake of ambition. In their quest for power, they become solitary figures, standing atop a mountain of ashes, devoid of the warmth of connection and understanding. Every choice made in the name of ambition is a chain forged in the fires of regret. The more they climb, the heavier the shackles become. They may find themselves at the pinnacle, but they are surrounded by an abyss, a chasm filled with the cries of those they've wronged. The weight of their decisions crushes down, a relentless pressure that no throne can alleviate. The darkness they sought to master now masters them, enveloping them in its embrace, and the irony is that they sought power to escape their own fears, only to find themselves ensnared by them. In the end, what remains? A hollow shell, a specter of what was once a beating heart. The ambitious stand amidst the ruins of their making, echoing the cries of those who fell by the wayside. They are left with barren souls, stripped of everything that once mattered: love, compassion, connection. The world they built is a desolate landscape, where the ghosts of the past linger like shadows in the twilight, a constant reminder of the cost of their ambition. So, let them bask in the glow of their victories. Let them revel in the power they so desperately sought. But as they indulge in this dark celebration, let them not forget that they are the architects of their own despair, trapped in a cycle of loss from which there is no escape. The price of ambition is steep, and the toll it takes is one that can never be fully repaid. In the end, they are left with nothing but silence and the bitter taste of regret on their tongues. The shadows creep closer, don't they? They wrap around the ambitious like a cloak of despair, whispering secrets only the lonely can hear. Power, once a shimmering prize, transforms into a double-edged sword, cutting deeper with every swing. It's a paradox, a cruel irony. The very thing they chased with such fervor becomes the chains that bind them, each link forged from the cries of those they discarded along the way. They stand atop their empty thrones, kings and queens of a kingdom built on desolation. But what is a throne without a court? What is power when the only audience is a reflection in a cold, cracked mirror? The laughter that once echoed through their halls has faded, leaving only the sound of their own heartbeat, a relentless reminder of the isolation that power brings. They reign in silence, surrounded by the ghosts of their ambition, and every tick of the clock is another reminder of what they have lost in their relentless quest for control. Allies, once plentiful, scatter like leaves in a storm. Friendships, once vibrant, wilt under the weight of ambition. The powerful, in their pursuit, sacrifice love on the altar of success, and when the dust settles, they find themselves surrounded by a graveyard of broken connections. The warmth of a hand to hold, the spark of shared laughter, these are the true treasures of life, and yet they choose to forsake them, blinded by their own greed. The absence of allies gnaws at the soul, a constant ache that no amount of power can soothe. What remains in place of companionship? A deafening silence, a void that swallows the very essence of joy. They look around, expecting to see the faces of those who once cheered them on, but instead, they are met with shadows, silent witnesses to their fall from grace. The vibrant world they sought to dominate now lies barren, stripped of color and life, much like their own hearts. It's a cruel joke, isn't it? The ones who sought to conquer the world end up conquered by their own loneliness. Oh, how they long for the echoes of laughter. But what they hear instead are the whispers of regret, swirling like smoke in the air. Each decision made, each life trampled, builds an invisible wall, brick by brick, until they find themselves trapped in a fortress of their own making. The irony is thick. they chased power to escape their insecurities, only to create a prison where the only inmate is themselves. The very walls they erected for protection become the bars that hold them captive, and the outside world becomes a distant memory, fading like a dream upon waking. Time is the great equalizer, isn't it? It marches on, indifferent to the struggles of those who wield it. The powerful may think they can outrun their past, but time is relentless. It holds a mirror to their choices, reflecting the consequences of each ambition, each betrayal. They may stand high above others, but the weight of their isolation presses down, heavier than any crown. The laughter that once filled their hearts is now a distant sound, lost in the echo of their own making. And so they remain, lords of nothing, rulers of an empty realm. Their thrones, once symbols of strength, now serve as reminders of their solitude. The darkness they sought to wield has turned against them, pulling them into an abyss where the only company is their own despair. In the end, they are left with barren souls, stripped of everything that once brought them joy. Let this be a lesson, a warning whispered through the corridors of time. For in the pursuit of power, one may just find themselves alone, an emperor cloaked not in glory, but in shadows. The price of ambition is steep, and the toll it exacts is one that echoes through eternity, a haunting reminder of what it means to be truly alone. The weight of choices, a burden heavier than any crown. Each decision, a thread spun in the tapestry of fate, weaving a story that cannot be undone. They think they can escape the shadows of their past, but the truth is, the choices they made cling to them like a second skin. Regret, that insidious specter, lurks in the corners of their minds, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce, to remind them of the lives they tread upon in their relentless pursuit of power. Every step taken toward the summit leaves a trail of destruction, a path littered with the remnants of broken dreams and shattered hopes. It's a bitter cycle, isn't it? The more they climb, the deeper they sink into the mire of their own making. They are haunted by the echoes of their decisions, each one a ghost that whispers of what could have been. The laughter of the innocent, the cries for help, they reverberate in the hollow chambers of their hearts, a constant reminder that the cost of ambition is steep, and the toll is never paid in full. Regret becomes a relentless companion, a shadow that stretches longer with each passing day. It wraps around their minds, squeezing tighter, constricting their thoughts until clarity becomes a distant memory. They replay their choices like a broken record, each skip a reminder of the pain they inflicted. There is no escape from the cycle, it spins faster, trapping them in a web of their own desires. The thrill of conquest fades, replaced by the stark reality of their actions. Isolation, once a throne of power, transforms into a prison of solitude. The walls close in, echoing with the screams of those they've wronged. They are left to grapple with the weight of their loneliness, the psychological burden that festers in the dark corners of their minds. Each moment spent alone is a dagger that pierces deeper into their conscience. They are surrounded by silence, an oppressive shroud that amplifies their thoughts, leaving them to drown in the sea of their own making. And yet, within this darkness, a twisted strength begins to emerge. In the depths of despair, clarity often blooms like a rare flower in a barren wasteland. It's here, in the shadows, that the ambitious may confront the truth of their existence. They peel back the layers of denial, exposing the rawness of their souls. This is where transformation begins, where the haunting memories serve not only as chains but as keys to unlock a deeper understanding of self. The human spirit, resilient as ever, stirs beneath the rubble of regret. It whispers of growth, of the potential that lies dormant in the ashes of failure. They may have stripped others of dignity, but now they must confront their own. The darkness that once seemed like an adversary transforms into a crucible, a place where they can forge a new identity from the shards of their past. With every acknowledgement of their misdeeds, they reclaim a piece of themselves, piecing together a mosaic of redemption. Finding purpose in isolation is the ultimate rebellion against the emptiness they've created. It's the recognition that in solitude, they can rise anew, not as the conquerors they once aspired to be, but as architects of their own destinies. They learn to channel the pain into something greater, a drive to right the wrongs, to rebuild the connections they once shattered. The strength forged in solitude becomes a beacon, guiding them toward a future where they can finally emerge from the shadows. But let it be clear, this journey is not without its trials. The ghosts of their past will always linger, shadows at the periphery of their vision. They must confront them, not with fear, but with the resolve of one who has tasted the bitterness of regret. For it is only through this confrontation that they can truly grasp the weight of their choices and the implications of their ambition. So, they stand at the crossroads, faced with the unsettling truth that power is a double-edged sword. The very ambitions that once fueled their rise now serve as reminders of the fragile nature of human connections. The call for conscience resonates, challenging them to reflect on their own thirst for dominance and the cost that pursuit exacts. Perhaps, just perhaps, in acknowledging the darkness within, they can carve out a path toward redemption that leads not only to their own salvation but to the healing of those they once harmed. In the end, the journey through regret can lead to a profound awakening. The cycle may twist and turn, but in that chaos lies the potential for transformation, a chance to emerge from the shadows not as rulers of a barren realm, but as individuals who have learned to embrace their humanity amidst the ruins of their ambition. Solitude. The dark companion that waits patiently, lurking in the shadows of our own making. It wraps itself around us like a thick fog, suffocating yet strangely comforting. In the absence of laughter, in the stillness where voices once danced, we find ourselves face to face with the raw truths we've spent a lifetime avoiding. Here, in the depths of our barren souls, we confront the very essence of who we are, or rather, who we have become. Stripped of grandeur, the powerful discover that their thrones are nothing but empty shells, hollow echoes of the dominion they once wielded. They thought power was a fortress, a place of safety and pride, but it was merely a mirage, a fleeting illusion that evaporates like morning mist. Now, as they stand alone, they are left to sift through the ruins of their own ambition, searching for meaning in the wreckage of their choices. It is in this desolation that clarity often emerges, a fragile bloom against the harsh landscape of despair. In the solitude of their thoughts, they begin to peel away the layers of their own arrogance. What was once a fortress now feels like a cage, each bar a reminder of the lives they've dismantled in the name of ambition. The darkness that envelopes them is not merely a void, it is a crucible, a place where they can forge something anew. Here, they confront their demons, those shadows that dance just out of reach, taunting them with memories of their past transgressions. It is a reckoning, a moment of brutal self-honesty that can either crush or empower. In this abyss, the human spirit reveals its resilience, a flicker of light amid the overwhelming darkness. When the weight of regret presses down like a leaden shroud, it is the spirit that whispers of possibilities. It beckons them to rise from the ashes, to reclaim the dignity they once stripped from others. This journey through solitude is not a punishment, it is an invitation to rediscover purpose in a life that has spiraled into chaos. The twisted strength that arises from this isolation is a testament to the complexity of the human experience. It's an awakening, a realization that within the heart of darkness lies the potential for rebirth. They learn to channel their pain, to transform it into something constructive. Each moment spent grappling with their own failings becomes a stepping stone, paving the way toward a future that is no longer defined by domination but by connection, by the very humanity they once trampled. But make no mistake, the road is fraught with challenges. The echoes of laughter that once filled their halls are replaced by the haunting silence of their own making. It is a silence that can be deafening, a reminder of all that was lost. Yet, it is in this silence that they find the space to reflect, to consider the lives they have touched, for better or worse. The ghosts of the past are relentless, but they are not insurmountable. Facing them head-on is the true test of strength. As they navigate this journey, the realization dawns that power is a double-edged sword. It cuts not only those beneath, but also the hands that wield it. The very ambitions that once fueled their rise now serve as a mirror, reflecting the consequences of their actions. In the depths of their solitude, they are called to confront their own conscience, to question the cost of their relentless pursuit. It is a moment of reckoning, an opportunity to redefine what power truly means. And so, they stand at the precipice, staring into the abyss of their own making. The call for conscience grows louder, echoing through the corridors of their mind. In acknowledging their own darkness, they take the first step toward redemption. It is a path fraught with uncertainty, but it is one worth traveling. For in the end, the journey through solitude can lead to profound awakening, a chance to emerge from the shadows, not as tyrants of a desolate empire, but as individuals who have learned to embrace their flaws and, in doing so, reclaim their humanity. The strength found in this solitude is not just survival, it is the birth of something greater. It is the understanding that from the ashes of ambition can rise a new purpose, a life redefined by empathy, connection, and a relentless drive to make amends. This is the true power, the power to change, to grow, to heal. And it is only in the depths of despair that one can truly grasp the beauty of such transformation. Ah, the unsettling truth of power. It's a beast that whispers sweet promises while sinking its fangs deep into the flesh of the unsuspecting. The allure is intoxicating, isn't it? A siren's call that beckons the ambitious to climb, to conquer, and to crush. Yet, beneath that seductive surface lies a treacherous abyss, a double-edged sword that cuts deeper with each swing. The very essence of power is a paradox, a cruel twist of fate that transforms its wielders into shadows of their former selves, lost in a maze of their own making. Power, dear listeners, is not the crown one wears, it is the weight upon the brow. It blinds the ambitious to the cries of those they trample, dulls the senses to the humanity they strip away, leaving behind mere husks, empty vessels. Each conquest is celebrated, each victory cheered, but what remains when the confetti falls? An echo, a chilling silence that reverberates through the halls of their achievements, reminding them that with every ascent comes a price, a toll paid in dignity, trust, and the very souls they once held dear. And what of the allies lost along the way? The laughter that used to ring like music now fades into a haunting melody of regret. Relationships, once vibrant, are sacrificed at the altar of ambition, leaving behind a graveyard of memories, each tombstone a testament to the bond severed in pursuit of greatness. The very people who cheered them on now stand as silent witnesses to their isolation, the laughter replaced by the ghostly whispers of what could have been. In the pursuit of power, they have become prisoners in their grand castle, surrounded by walls that not only protect but also suffocate. Yet, there lies a twisted beauty in this solitude. It is here, in the shadows, that one can finally hear the echoes of their own heart. Here, introspection can bloom amidst the thorns of regret. The abyss is not merely a void, it is a crucible, a test of metal where the soul is stripped bare, and the truth comes crashing down like a tidal wave. This is not a punishment but an awakening, a chance to confront the reality of one's choices. The darkness, once feared, becomes a mirror reflecting the deepest wounds, the scars of every choice made in haste. And no, the long shadow cast by decisions. It lingers, an unwelcome companion, reminding the ambitious of the cost of their ascent. The cycle of regret spins endlessly, a relentless reminder of the lives affected, the dreams crushed underfoot. It is a heavy burden, yet it also serves as a lantern in the dark, illuminating the path towards redemption. For those who dare to face their demons, the journey is not merely about unearthing the past, but about reclaiming the power that lies dormant within. In this moment of reckoning, the call for conscience rings loud and clear. It pierces through the fog of ambition, urging one to reflect, to ponder the very nature of power. Is it a tool for building bridges or a weapon for tearing down walls? The answer lies within, waiting to be unearthed from the depths of despair. A reckoning is upon them, a chance to redefine strength, to transform the pain of isolation into a force for good. So, as they stand upon the precipice of their own making, the unsettling truth of power becomes crystal clear. In acknowledging their past, they grasp the fragile threads of hope that dangle like a lifeline. The shadows may linger, but they no longer define the narrative. Instead, they become the backdrop for a new story, one where power is not wielded like a sledgehammer but embraced as a tool for connection, for understanding, for healing. In the end, the real power lies not in dominion over others, but in the ability to rise from the ashes of one's own mistakes. It is the strength to confront the darkness, to weave it into a tapestry of purpose and empathy. This is the path towards redemption, a journey that transforms isolation into strength, despair into hope, and ambition into a shared humanity. For it is only in the depths of darkness that the light of true power can emerge, illuminating the way for others lost in the shadows. Share this message if you believe that true strength is forged in the darkest of times. Leave a comment about a moment when the shadows shaped your resolve, and subscribe for more gritty reflections on the power that rises from chaos. Remember, it's in the depths of despair that we discover our true selves. Embrace the darkness, for it is here that justice waits patiently to reveal its face.